In middle school, we went on a field trip to a local salt marsh. I believe it was for our science class to investigate marine life or something like that. All I recall is that we were split into pairs and given the task of taking notes on what we could see through the binoculars. I was paired with my friend Jordan. We were trailing behind the rest of the group because we wanted to go off on our own. We turned around on the route and proceeded a different direction when our instructor, Miss Stern, and the two other teachers on the tour with us were far enough away. The entire salt marsh was nothing more than a tangle of wooden walkways built over swampy waters. We couldn't stand the assignment because the journey was so mind-numbingly uninteresting to us at our early age. We headed out to explore the alternate path that we weren't supposed to go down. It had a big sign up saying something to the effect of, "Don't go down this way unless you work for the town." As a result, you can guess what we did. Of course, we took this route. We were well hidden from the teachers and the rest of the pupils because there was a lot of really tall grass everywhere. We walked for a bit until we came upon a little shed-sized facility with a sign on the entrance that said, "Do not enter." We attempted to open the door, but it was locked, so we continued on our way. The more we proceeded and the more twists we took, the more we understood that this facility was like a maze. We came to the conclusion that it was time to rejoin the group because we weren't having nearly as much fun on our own as we were with the group. We also didn't want to be caught because it was becoming late and we'd been gone for a while. So we started heading back in the direction we thought was correct. However, after a series of ostensibly erroneous turns, we conceded to each other that we were lost. Any sense of direction has vanished entirely. And it was evident that the sun was setting. We weren't panicked yet, but we were obviously concerned. Time passed, and we were still unable to locate the trail that would lead us back to our starting point. We attempted to locate the small building we had just passed as a clue that we were on the correct track. However, we were unable to do so. The tall swampy marsh grass towered over us, blocking our view of everything. The sun had fallen, and there was no way our class and professors could possibly be here any longer. This was before cell phones became popular, especially among middle school students. We had no way of contacting for aid, so we held off on shouting until the sun had nearly set, at which point panic began to set in. Suddenly, it appeared like we weren't alone after all. Jordan and I began to hear splashing water in the distance. The sound of someone walking through knee-high water was clear. We started to walk faster down the wooden pathway. And when we stopped again to listen, the splashing was still there, getting louder and closer. We didn't have any flashlights with us. Only the moon provided illumination. We were aware that we weren't alone. Something or someone was hidden in the dense grass, watching us. Jordan basically had a fuck it moment. And went to the grass where the splashing was coming from. Pushed a bunch of the giant pieces to the side and then screamed like a little girl. I wasn't there to see what he saw, but I didn't have to. I followed him down the path until we both had to take a break to gather our breath. He said that he saw a person lurking in the grass, which I had suspected before he said anything. We kept running and then stopping to catch our breaths until the sound of a helicopter overhead came closer. We saw it flying over with a searchlight on. Waving our hands in the air was the first thing we did. I'm not sure whether that worked or not. However, the spotlight landed on us and stayed there. Because we were stupid little kids, we anticipated the helicopter to descend and pick us up. We were confused when it simply hovered there. But what they were doing was giving our whereabouts to a police search squad that had been dispatched to our school after our parents reported that we had not returned home. A group of police officers ultimately located us and took us back to safety. Of course, we told them there was someone stalking us in the marsh. Miss Stern either miscounted on the way back to school on the bus or she didn't do a head count at all. The bus then left without us. In any case, she made a huge mistake, and I'm amazed she wasn't fired. This was by far the scariest night of my life, and it happened when I was still so young.